experience so far. I know that it's your first tour. Also, you are one of the clients that is having other kind of program right now with us, that is a VIP program. So how is everything going? Why you took the decision to visit Colombia and the city of Barranquilla?
Everything is going pretty good. The reason why I made the choice to visit Barranquilla and be on the tour for purchase both packages is because I want to increase my expectations. And so far, this is like my second day, so it's a little challenging, and just keeping an open mind, and things will unfold more of my expectations. So far, this have reached, like, I want to say about 75 to 80% of my expectations.
Okay, that is great. It's a good percent.
Yes, it's a good percent. Just to be on the positive side as to more events that's coming, and more activities.
Okay, today we have other socials, so you are going to have more options. But I want to know if so far here in Barranquilla you find the kind of girl that you was looking for. Like you say, like, okay, here in Barranquilla, I think that I can fit very well here in the city because the girls looks or they are as you are looking.
Yes, I find a few girls of what I'm looking for, and Barranquilla is nice. The women's are sweet, and they're very welcoming, and since it's not like since it's not a big tourist spot, we get a lot more attention. We become more of the center of attention here, so I like it.
Okay, that is great. And tell us a little bit also about the VIP program that help you a little bit. Like, I know that you have a couple of video calls with some of the girls. So you think that that is helpful for start the tour, or it's something like very different, like it's not necessary?
It's helpful. It's necessary, and when it comes to talking to the women and everything, I would say, going on different dates is good, but when it comes to writing letters and everything, the words that's being said, you're hoping that the reality comes as those words been said. And sometimes it does happen like that, sometimes it doesn't, and just kind of have to push harder and face the challenge. So far, it's only been third day, so I'm gonna like keep it rolling. I think second day. Today is Saturday, right?
Yes.
Second day. My second day from Thursday. No, third day.
Third. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike, I hope that you're enjoying the tour, and also I hope that you can find that special one that you are looking for.
Yes, I hope so.
Bueno, hermosa, y tú cuéntanos un poco acerca de tu experiencia hasta ahora. No sé si es el primer tour al que tienes la oportunidad de participar, o cómo te ha parecido, pues, como toda esta experiencia de salir con caballeros del extranjero.
No, primera vez que participo en el tour. Me pareció agradable. Al principio estaba un poco nerviosa, pero no, después cogí confianza, me relajé y pues no, me pareció espectacular. Pues conocí a un chico, estamos conociéndonos, ahí vamos, y pues no, me pareció súper bien.
Me alegra mucho que estés disfrutando del tour y que también te haya gustado hasta ahora la experiencia. Cuéntanos un poquito qué estás buscando tú en un caballero, por qué decidiste agenciarte aquí con nosotros y por qué caballeros del extranjero.
Pues me gusta el extranjero pues porque quiero como experimentar otras cosas nuevas, y pues busco más que todo un hombre que sea muy sincero, honesto, que sea detallista, romántico. Me encanta mucho lo atento que es con uno. Me afilié más que todo por eso a la agencia.
Bueno, y hasta ahora, ¿cómo le has pasado? ¿Cómo te ha tratado el staff? ¿Cómo estuvo la noche de anoche? ¿Disfrutaste del evento?
Sí, disfruté bastante, bailé, concursé, me reí. No, la pasé súper chévere.
Eso es lo importante, que puedas participar. Yo le digo mucho a las chicas que también no es solamente el hecho de que, bueno, sí, la idea es llegar y encontrar tu pareja, pero también vivir y disfrutar el momento. Sí, quizás en el próximo, o a través de las cartas, a través de las videollamadas, tienes esa oportunidad bonita de conocer a un gran hombre.
Sí, si no en este momento, pues puede tener conexión en otro tour o en otro evento y pues puede encontrar a su chico ideal.
Me alegra mucho y yo veo que estás con una intérprete el día de hoy que está ayudándote muchísimo con el tema de la comunicación. ¿Y cómo te ha parecido el tema de llevar una intérprete a la cita que les ayude a comunicarse?
No, me parece súper chévere, las chicas son muy amables, muy sinceras, siempre están atentas a uno, siempre.
Me alegra mucho que estés teniendo una buena experiencia hasta ahora y bueno, espero que todo fluya muy bien entre tú y Mike y si no es con Mike, pues con otro caballero que llegue y se robe tu corazón.
Ah, gracias.
Thank you so much guys for being here today and I hope that you can find a beautiful and wonderful girl too.
I hope so.
Sounds good. Hello, and good evening, guys. Welcome to the Latin show. My name is Maria. I'm your host for tonight, and I'm very happy to connect with you once again Wednesday evening. I know that a lot of you have been here with us for a while, and hi, guys. I'm always happy to hear from you. You know, I always love when you put me your comments in. The comments I love, but the comments I don't see. So if you have any questions, we have the web link where you can put the questions in. And then please go ahead and ask all your questions about dating, about Colombia, about whatever you want to know about international dating. I'm here to help you tonight. And obviously in the future, if you want to meet somebody here seriously. And so, yeah, we have just been back from our Barranquilla tour. I just came back and we have still a couple of guys in Barranquilla dating, going on dates, meeting wonderful women here. And I'm pretty sure you're going to see a lot of new footage tonight. Obviously, you're going to be going in the next couple of weeks, work on more footage. We did tons of women interviews, which you guys love, always, obviously, to get to know more about the women, not just on the profile, not that she tells a little bit about herself. So we have interviewed a lot of women on the social and obviously the idea is that you reach out to them, that you meet them, that you get to know them. We're not doing these videos just because we're bored. If not, obviously we want to show who she is and we want you to get motivated to really make that leap of faith and travel to a different country and maybe find the love of your life, right? That is why you're all watching this. That's why we'll all be doing this, because we want really to find you that partner, your media naranja, como dicen acá, your half orange, I think they say here, like really the person who is made for you and helping you to get the matches, helping you to find the right one. And so, as I said, if you have any questions about dating, please reach out. The show is for you. That's why we do this show. And yeah, as I said, we talk about the Barranquilla tour in a bit. You will see some background footage. We have a couple of interviews. We have the first couples, which I always love on the tours because it's 1 week, or 10 days or 14 days, but it's so effective because the connections, you make a lot of connections, you make a lot of matches, but in the end also it's not about the quantity of the matches, it's not about focusing on the right woman. And if two people meet and if two people have a connection, you will know that, I mean, you have been probably all of you there and you had a connection instantly or you connected with somebody. And the tour, the socials obviously help a lot to do so. And so, yeah, let me start what we're going to have tonight. Let me show you what we're going to have tonight. So obviously I will tell you as usual how to travel to Colombia, what you need to travel to Colombia, and how easy it is to get to Colombia. Then, as I said, we talk about the tour. We have a video from one of our couples, which are on their way. I'm not saying they are already I think they're already a couple. I think they're boyfriend and girlfriend already, because we got a beautiful testimonial from her today as well in Spanish. And she really said thank you. And she's really motivated and really happy and really excited about her boyfriend. And so we're going to show you that interview of Dan and Maria Fernanda, who just met on Friday evening. They went out on Saturday on the city tour. They went on Sunday on the boat tour. They went on Monday on the party bus, I think is where they went, if I'm not wrong. Tuesday, they went on the pool. And so today he left. So every day, every single day, they dated. And it's a really beautiful couple. I was able to see them, obviously, to be there as well and to see the connection. And it is a beautiful, beautiful couple. We have another couple on the way. And they also like he's coming back soon. They're going to meet in Bogota because the family of her is there. And so they'll meet the family, and they also, I love that couple too. They have been also on, I think, 3-4 dates throughout every day until now, or even more. And so yeah, excited. And there's still obviously much more to come, and much more people, many more guys who are right now still dating, still making the connections. And don't worry, guys, sometimes it's not that quick, right? I don't want to generate expectations that for everybody goes on the tour it's that quick, that everything. And obviously, you have to see how time evolves and how the couples evolve. But in general, all of you who go on a tour make usually very good connections. And then obviously, once you go home, you have to see how to maintain that communication, how you communicate, how you come back, what's going to on in the future. And I will get into that a little bit later too. What is important, because communication prior and communication during and communication after is key. And I'm not saying the language is key, because the language obviously is a plus if you speak it, but it's more about really the communication, the frequency, and understanding the different cultures and the cultural differences. And then we're going to talk about exactly that, how important it is to have contact and communication prior to your travel, and obviously while and after. And we have a little tutorial. Then we have 2 interviews prepared for you. One is Nicole, 215015. She's brand new, beautiful woman. And Catherine, beautiful, obviously, as well. Both beautiful women, 214581. So both are new. Nicole, if you already want to look it up, sometimes you guys want to see what the profile looks like and how she looks like. 215015, Nicole, and Catherine is 215881. You can go to the website medellindating.com or barranquillasingles.com, and you can just put the ID in, and then you can look at their profiles. As I said, I will answer your questions, so go ahead and ask everything away. And let me see if somebody says hi to me tonight. Hello, Maria. Hi, Stephen. Stephen has a question about the tour. I'm going to get into that. And Brad is saying greetings and thanks for hosting the events. Brad, you're very welcome, and greetings to you. And I'm happy that you appreciate those, because those are amazing. There are a lot of work, a lot of preparation, the stuff. I mean, it's just wonderful. We make such a great team. It's such a team effort. So every thank you tell me, I will tell the staff, because really it's not just me, it's everybody who is doing that with weeks of prior, of organization, of communication, of getting the hot listed dates together so that you guys are successful. We had a lot of guys already on dates before the social. Sometimes you guys arrive very late Thursday evening, so you don't have that much time. So lots of you came a little bit earlier, had the Thursday for dating, and you took advantage of it. Barranquilla was hot this week. It was a hot week. In general, we have a couple of hot months and humidity, but now we're getting into a little more the rainy season. Now it's getting cooler. So for the ones who are coming next month, you're going to see it's going to be very beautiful. It's not as hot. It rains, but it doesn't rain a lot. It rains a lot when it rains, but it rains not the whole day. It rains like 2-3 hours, and then the sun comes out, and you will feel it. It makes a huge difference. And Mateo's asking you, he needs to know the next Barranquilla tour. We're going to get this tour schedule for 2024 soon online. We already have put our dates in. So we have a couple of minutes. I will check what date we more or less put in. I think we are again in February, March, I think is the next Barranquilla tour. But I have it in my spreadsheet because I already sent it in like 2-3 weeks ago. But we have to coordinate with all the tours, right? It's not just our tours. We have Peru, we have Costa Rica, we have Mexico, and then obviously Philippines and the other country, China. China has a new tour which was sold out the day we published it. I think there are like 25 guys or more in the waiting list to go to China. So guys, the ones who are watching, who want to go to China and you cannot go, come to Colombia. I know it's a very different culture, very different looking woman, but some of you might be interested in finding the right woman, and maybe the looks or the physical, like if it's Chinese or if it's Colombian, if it's Mexican or if it's Philippines, maybe it doesn't matter too much to you. Obviously, some of you believe it matters, and that's why you look in this country. But after the Ukraine, what happens with Ukraine, like a lot of guys who went to the Ukraine came also to Colombia. So I know that you guys are also looking into different regions. So if you cannot go on the China tour, why not coming here? And even if you cannot go to the China tour, you know that you always can do individual introduction, Latin clubs or Asian clubs or European clubs. And we also have the Elite Club and the Executive Service. The Elite Club is one of my favorite services. I love that. The Elite Club we only do in Colombia, but the Executive one we can do worldwide, which is basically the same concept, and it is one of the most successful services we have. So if you're interested about the Elite or the Executive Service, just shoot me an email to afacolombia7@gmail.com or to info@afacolombia@gmail.com. I have 2 email addresses where I check my emails, so you can reach out to any of those 2 emails. I think the info AFA Colombia is here, there, or there, somewhere there, and just reach out. You can also call the Phoenix office, call me. My phone number, you can ask Kirk also, or you can write me, ask me for my phone number, and then I obviously share that with you, and then we can get in touch. Marcos Garcia, hello Maria. Hi Marcos, how are you tonight? I hope you're doing great. And Charles, hi Maria, hi Charles. Good to see you, not to see you, but to read you, because I can unfortunately not see you, but I can read you, and that makes me very happy to know that you are here. So thank you so much for writing. Organic Chocolate, hi, how are you doing, Organic Chocolate? I missed you. The Organic Chocolate is giving good advice, and I'm getting into your comments just in a bit. Vernon will be also in Barranquilla in 2024, and he will watch every week until then. Vernon, I'm looking forward to that. Ask your questions away if you have any doubts. We are happy here to help you, and Barranquilla is a special place. All of the cities are spectacular. You will love them all. And for everybody, every city has, like, you're going to go to the city, or you're going to choose the place which is right for you. So I cannot tell you Barranquilla is the right place or Cartagena is the right place. Just experience it, and all of them are great. I love all the cities. I'm in Santa Marta, which is a different city where we also have a lot of beautiful single women as well. In Santa Marta, I mean, I have been in all of them, and I chose Santa Marta. Why did I do it? Because it is a place which for me unites everything. So why? So you have Cartagena, a beautiful old town. Santa Marta is actually the oldest city in Colombia, so it has a beautiful old town. It's not as beautiful as Cartagena's old town, we have to be honest, but they're renovating, they're doing the remodeling, and the old town of Santa Marta is really beautiful, really nice, and there are already like lots of little bars, little pubs, little restaurants where you walk around. It's very colorful as well. And believe me, in the next 5 years, Santa Marta is going to change much more than it has already in the last 10. And what else does Santa Marta has? Medellin has the mountains. And so you have a cooler climate. It's a spring weather. Medellin has a beautiful, obviously the city itself, and then the surroundings of Medellin are amazing. Santa Marta has the mountains as well. It has the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta, which is the highest coastal mountain range in the world. And you can see the snow from the beach, not from Santa Marta. It's not like 1.5 hours from here. When you're at the beach, you can see you're in the Caribbean and you can see the snow, and it's amazing. And if you go into the mountain, it's rainforest, it's otra. I'm talking Spanish already. It's a different vegetation. You have waterfalls, you have river, you have coffee farms, cacao plantations. It's really amazing. Good restaurants, good boutique hotels now, and it's growing. Then we have the Tayrona National Park. The Tayrona National Park is a beautiful 80-kilometer long national park with amazing beaches. You can go there hiking. You can go by horse. You can go by boat, and you have a lot of things to explore around in the surroundings of Santa Marta. There's a lot of rivers, as I said. And so for me, and it's maybe not such a big city as Cartagena, Barranquilla, and Medellin, but that is what I love. I love the countryside. I love the more smaller towns, and Santa Marta doesn't feel that big, but it has everything you need. It has good restaurants. It has malls. Not as great as the malls as in Medellin or in Barranquilla. Don't let me if you're into malls, then Santa Marta is not the best place to go, but I'm into nature, and for nature it's a really great place. So enough about Santa Marta. Let's talk about Barranquilla, and let's talk about how to get to Colombia in general. So first of all, you need a passport. Okay, if you want to travel here, doesn't matter to which city, you do need a passport. So if you have a passport, then you book your flight, right? Seems logical. So, but you don't only book a one flight, one-way ticket. You need to, you can buy one-way ticket to Colombia, but you need to book a flight out of Colombia. It doesn't have to be back to your home country. You can fly anywhere, but it has to get out you you have to show it in immigration that you have a flight out of Colombia. So if you go from Colombia to Mexico, no problem. If you go from Colombia to Europe, no problem. If you go Colombia to Argentina, no problem. But you have to have a flight out of the country, okay? So every show I tell you there, if you don't know how long you want to stay and you don't know which flight you should book, you have really two options. One option is you buy a flexible flight. You can schedule again, like for example, whatever. Now it's the 16th of August and you want to come tomorrow and then you don't know when you want to fly out. So you can buy a flexible ticket, put it, for example, on the 25th of August, but then, 2-3 days prior, you're not going to leave and you want to stay longer, then you can just change your flight date and then you don't pay that much. You usually pay the difference of the fee you paid, like for example, you paid $500 and if now in 3 days the flight is $600, you'd pay the $100 difference, okay? So that is when you buy a flexible ticket. That's plan A. Plan B is you buy a ticket out of the country, you show migration, you have a flight, you abort the flight, you do everything in your home country, you bought the flight, and once you get into the plane or once you land in Colombia, usually you have a 24-hour cancellation time. So for example, you fly today, you arrive here tomorrow, today you showed your flight, you had to go out of Colombia, so you arrive here tomorrow and then you just cancel the flight and the airline will not charge you because you have a 24-hour free. Most airlines have it. You have to read it in the terms, but most airlines have a 24-hour free cancellation policy. And then you just cancel and then you buy a new one when you are here. And when you know, okay, I want to leave in 2 weeks, then you buy a new flight. There are other possibilities, but that are the most common ones. Yeah. So what else do you need? You don't need a COVID test. You don't need to be vaccinated. You don't need to show a proof of vaccination anymore. Thank God. You only need to do a check migration form. The check migration form is the same form they asked since the pandemic since 2 years, which is a form, a beautiful form we all love. I just had to fill it out and I totally forget about it, that the airlines are still asking. In the US, the airlines are still asking. In Europe, they're not asking that much anymore. They ask you before you board the flight in your home country. So it's not that they ask you here in Colombia, they ask you in the US, for example. So if you're in Miami, you want to board your plane in Miami, they will ask you, do you have the check migration form? And you will say, oh, I forgot about it. The best thing would be say, yeah, I have it. But I had it just a month ago. I was in the US and I didn't. So I've done it several times. So I just did it at the airport quickly. I would not recommend you that because you might get stressed. And if you don't have enough time, sometimes the website has some clinches there, some issues there. So I would recommend you do it like 1 or 2 days prior. You can do it up to 72 hours prior, if I'm not wrong, but we have seen the best results if you do it 1 day prior, 2 days prior to your travel. So the only trick or the 2 tricks you have to know is that the country you're putting in is Estados Unidos in English. You can do it in English, but the translation of the countries is in Spanish, and United States is Estados Unidos, or if it's Germany, then it's Alemania. So you have to look for the Spanish name of the country you come out to. And then you have to put the flight which enters Colombia. So if you go, for example, from LA to Miami and from Miami to Colombia, you put the incoming flight as the Miami to Colombia flight. They don't care really about the LA to Miami flight. They want to know which flight from the country we are in goes into Colombia. So you put that flight number in, and then you have to know the department, the state. So if you go to Barranquilla, it's Atlántico. If you go to Medellin, it's Antioquia. And if you go to Cartagena, it's Bolívar. If you go to Santa Marta, it's Magdalena. You just Google. And the address of the hotel, but you can just put any address in. The important is that you put an address in. And if you don't have a hotel, then just make one up. Go to booking.com, look for the address. I did that last month too because I didn't know where to go. We were on our way to Alaska and I didn't know where in Alaska I'm going to stay really because we wanted to drive around. So I just Googled, put anything in, and it was okay. So obviously if you have a hotel, put your hotel address in. Yeah. So, but don't worry. That is like the check migration form. I don't want to talk about that too much because you're not here about the check migration form. And if you really want to know, you reach out to me and we have a YouTube tutorial video where you can find all that information. It's really not that complicated. It's like 10, 15 minutes, and then you are good. Let's say 15 minutes and you fill that form out, but it's better if you go do it at home. Okay? So my advice, so you only need a passport, you need to buy a flight, you don't need any proof of any vaccination, you don't need any COVID test, you only need to fill out the Czech migration form, and then you're good to go. Yeah? If you have any problems, as I said, any issues, Michelle, Kirk, me, everybody, Manuela, Claudia, Alexandra, ladies, everybody knows about the Czech migration form and everybody can help you. So please don't get discouraged because you don't know how to fill out the form. It's easy. Okay? Music. Is there still space for the Medellin tour? Yes, there is. And I would really encourage you to go to that tour because Medellin is always, like they say, Medellin is una chimba. That's what they say here. Like Medellin is a party, is a great place. It's like, wow, it's like buena onda. It's like really cool place to go. So Medellin, I definitely recommend you. And the price does include the hotel. And the hotel Medellin is amazing. It's they say 5-star hotel. It says 5-star on their reception. I would say probably internationally 4-star, 4.5 stars. It's a beautiful hotel. It has a pool. Most of the hotels in Medellin don't have a pool. We will be working on the 8th floor and setting up your dates, and you don't have to go anywhere. There's a nice gym, good restaurant, great food, like really, really beautiful. The rooms are great. Great location. You're in the best part of the city. It's very safe. Love it. And we do the events in the same hotel, and so it's very convenient for you as well. But yeah, definitely recommend you that. Mark, hello Mark. I already missed you, Mark. I hope you're having a great day, Maria. I do. I had a little bit stressful day today since in general because we're still on the tour. Obviously, there's still a lot of things going on. The clients are wanting to come. July was a little bit more quieter month. Lots of you went on vacation to other places or just stayed in the US, but now lots of you are coming, traveling, and we get like a lot of inquiries right now for the winter, for the next months to come. So yeah, really, really excited. And thank you, Mark, for saying hi as usual, and great that you are here tonight. So let me see what I have here in my notes. I think we talk a little bit about Barranquilla. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Barranquilla. So Barranquilla is one of my favorite places for the tours. And that is weird because Barranquilla, first time when I heard about Barranquilla, really, I was like, I don't know. It's not that touristy. Barranquilla has not that. I mean, I am a beach person. I love the beaches, and Cartagena has amazing beaches, and Santa Marta has amazing beaches. But Barranquilla has a beach, has beaches like 20 minutes ago, outside of the city, and has the river. And they really made an amazing job at the promenade at the river. They did like, I think in 2018, 2019, already 4 years ago, I think, they did the promenade on the river. They redid everything, and they did like, I would say it's like 10, 12, 15 kilometers long. And people really have now a possibility to do something in the city because there were a couple of parks, there are the malls, there are great party, there's really amazing food. But for being outside in nature, there was not so many places to go because you had to drive out of the city. And now with the promenade of the on the river, the people go and walk and ride the bicycles and work out and go with their dogs. And there's like the Caiman del Rio. It's like it's a form shape of a crocodile. It's a restaurant. It's a food court on the promenade and with a huge terrace right in front of the river. And you can get cheap beers, cheap food, good food, local food. And there are like lots of different small restaurants inside the Caiman del Rio, inside the crocodile building. And it's just really great. And we just did the boat tour on Sunday. The boat tour is always great. It's like in a really old-fashioned boat. And you drive around, you drive on the river. We go down all the river to where the bridge is. There are 2 bridges, a new bridge and an old bridge, and you can see it there. And then they play the hymn of it's like really beautiful because the Barranquilleros are very proud of their city. They're really proud of Barranquilleros, and you can feel it. And the energy of Barranquilla always on the boat and also on the social. You put one song on and people start dancing. The women start dancing, everybody having a good time. The drums are coming and everybody's just going crazy. And it's just such a great energy, the city and the people and the dating. And so you will, Shelton, hey. Sorry guys, I'm just reading your comments in between. Shelton is saying I'm coming with Del to the tour to Medellin. I hope all is well, Shelton. I'm so looking forward to see you. Del, I'm looking forward to see you. Some of you guys have been on tour with us, and after some dating, some coming, like it didn't work out, or you were in a relationship for a time, to try again. And I'm really excited because we had a really good time. And the last Cartagena tour, Shelton and I, Del, were not on the last one, I think was already 3 years ago, 2 years ago. I don't know how long it was ago, but it's a while ago already. And so now you guys coming to Medellin. So I'm really looking forward to that. Del, looking forward to see you too. And anyway, but I was with Barranquilla. I go to Medellin in a second. Medellin is obviously amazing, but Barranquilla is for me always special because, as I said, the energy of the woman is just a different level. And the Barranquilleras, as I said, or the Barranquilleros as well, the people from Barranquilla are very proud of being from Barranquilla, and they really take care of the city. The mayor is doing a really great job. Barranquilla improved in the last 20 years incredibly. And as I said, you have a great food scene, you have a great party scene. We went Saturday out after the social, we went partying. And usually, I don't know why, but Barranquilla is the only city where I go out after the socials. I usually don't go out in Cartagena a lot and don't a lot in Medellin. But in Barranquilla, usually we go out on Saturdays after the social, and we went to a discotheque called Elvis. And it was just great. It was in a mall, or in a mall in a mall. And there were all bars and bars, like party places and different discotheques. And it felt amazing. It was really safe. It was a great experience. We had a live show there. People were dancing, like robot dancing and like women dancing, and it was really cool. It was really, really nice, and we had a really good time. So yeah, Barranquilla, if you think about going to Barranquilla, if you cannot do it on one of our tour dates, or if you guys know, okay, I don't know when the tour is going to be, but I really want to go to Barranquilla, or I really want to go to Medellin, or I really want to go to Cartagena, you don't have to wait until we have a tour. You can go any time of the year. Some of you might not know that, but our office is open every day. Our matchmakers, office managers are there every day. And every day we have clients. Every day we have clients to set up on dates. And so if you say, okay, I cannot do it on the 21st of September, which will be our Medellin tour, but I can travel on the 30th of September, then just go. Don't worry if there's not a group tour, because the group tours are amazing. Because obviously we have the socials, obviously you have the hotel included, obviously you have the city tour, obviously we have the extra group activities. But if you cannot do a group tour, do an individual tour or do individual introductions. The individual tour is called Latin Club. It includes up to 21 dates for 7 days, or then you can do 10 or 14 days. The price is $1,695. And you can do also individual introduction, which start already from $275. So it's a lot cheap. I don't know if it's a lot cheaper. Obviously, it sums up, depends on how many dates you're going to go. But it's an option. If you cannot do it on the group activities, in the group tour, then go on a single tour or go on an individual introduction. As I said, we have clients all year long, so you don't have to wait until the tour date comes up. Okay, so I already told you what we did in this Barranquilla tour. I already told you we were partying. So Thursday, how the tours generally work, right? Maybe some of you guys just tuned in and heard tours, group tours, single tours. What's that? So we have the group tours, as I said, where we have specific dates per year, which is usually twice in Barranquilla, twice in Cartagena, and 3 times in Medellin. And so you have included the airport pickup. You have included the hotel, which is usually a 4-star hotel or a 5-star hotel with breakfast. You have included unlimited introductions, which is crazy because, yeah, you have unlimited introductions. You have 2 fully catered cannot speak anymore. Fully catered socials, where you have food, where you have drinks, which you guys don't care too much about, but you have that included. And you have up to from 80 to 100 women, even more per night, depending on the size of the man, obviously. If I have 10 men, I have around 70, 80 women. If I have 20 men, I have around 130, 140 women, right? So it's always enough women. You will not lack women. In fact, you usually complain that there are too many women and not enough time. So on this tour, on this Barranquilla tour, we had Friday evening so many more women than we expected, which is like we're really good in our calculations usually, but we had like so much demand this time, and we had to put chairs and more chairs and more chairs, and usually we have like 5-6 women per table. I think we had tables with 9 women per table, so it was really that. That's why I'm saying the Barranquilla women are really motivated. They really want to meet somebody. They really all come, and they really want to have that special connection. And the women also love to connect with the other woman, and it's like not only meeting men, like they make friends on those social, they make girlfriends. It's like a networking basically, because you sit with people on the table, and I don't know, you're a lawyer and she's a lawyer too, and you two can connect together, or I have my own salon and you have your salon, and let's do something together, and so often the women also make friends, make groups, and come back the next time and really enjoy our socials. And I love that in Barranquilla. It was really, really cool. As I said, Saturday was even more, there were not more women, but it was like more festive. Like it was like really, the women were dancing a lot. We had a great time. I said everybody went out yesterday afterwards, and it was a lot of fun. The group of men, it was a really nice group. We had beautiful men. I'm not saying beautiful, obviously outside, but beautiful from the inside. Like lots of you were really serious, really looking forward, really listening to us. That's what we love as matchmakers, because sometimes obviously you have an expectation, and that expectation might not that realistic, right? Like sometimes you think you're 62 and you should date somebody maybe in their 30s because you're attracted to that. And I'm not saying you cannot do that, because I usually never tell you cannot do that. You can date anybody, whoever you want, but it's sometimes not the wisest decision, right? Because, yeah, the woman who's 30, I mean, she can date basically anybody if she's 35. And if you go into the 40s, 50s, and in the end, like, you really want to meet that person who is going to wake up with you every single day, who loves you for you, that you're not alone. A lot of you guys are very alone, and yeah, you go for looks, you go for attractive, you go for beautiful women, but in the end, yeah, obviously you want to have an attractive what you would have with the end of the day, and at the end of lots of years, and not just at the end of the day, if not like in the next 20, 30 years. And here the culture is not a culture who thinks so much about tomorrow. So it's possible if you're 60 and you want to go with somebody who's 30, it's totally possible. But she will not really think about what's going to happen from here, from 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now. And now that you're 60, that's great. But in 10 years, you're 70, right? And then what's happening? You have the same energy, you have the same, you do want to have that long-lasting relationship, and not a woman who is with you for 2-3 years and then leaves you because she goes with somebody younger and just got a visa. I mean, most of the women do not have that intention, but if you date too young, that she might be there for the wrong reasons, or she has obviously an interest in something else, which is not always bad. You obviously provide a lot of things for her, but we don't want it to be about that, only about that. We want it about you, right? So be focused on the age. Don't get distracted on the tools. You get distracted a lot. You can date a lot of women, and just focus on really what you need and what makes sense in the long term. If you think about getting married and finding that serious person, and think about the loneliness, think about the nights and the mornings you wake up without somebody, and just having a beautiful body next to you. I mean, she will age too. So just focus, right? That is what we do, and we talk and we give you the speech. And I love that on this tour, like lots of you guys really listened and said, yeah, Maria, you're right. I should date there, or I should do that. And as I said, obviously the women are very open, and sometimes you can date even 40 years younger, but what is the sense of it? Makes no sense. You go on a date, you have a good time, and that was it, right? So really focus 10 to 15 years. That is where we say it's the best results, 10 to 15 years. Some of you don't want to hear that, and I'm sorry, but I'm going to tell you again, 10 to 15 years, up to 20 if you want, but not really more than that. Yeah, and if it depends how young or how old she is. 23, 43 isn't already too much, because she's not there where you are at. You want to get married, you want to have children, you want all that. She's at 23, she's focusing on her career, which is normal. She's focusing on what she can get where she can get in, like what can she do to get ahead in life, and she's not thinking about so much other things, you know. So anyway, I don't want to give you the whole talk about the age. We can talk about that when you are here. We orientate you and everything, but it's something you keep in mind, because sometimes you lose your time in a week of a tour. You date women you should not date it, and then you lose a week, you go home, and then you have no real connection. So, and we want real connections, we want real matches, we want real marriages. So let's talk about our connections. Give me just a second, I have to drink some water. We have already great connections this tour, and I would like to show you an interview of one of our great connections. And as I said, they're already boyfriend and girlfriend, and they are really, really cute together. And they aspire this peace. Like when you saw them together, it was just peaceful. It was just beautiful. It was like they had, like they vibe together. It was just, you will see for yourself. So let's show our beautiful new couple, Dan and Maria Fernanda, and I'll be back with you guys just in a couple of minutes.
And today we're on our third day of tour, and I'm next to Dan and also Maria Fernanda. Right now we are in the city tour. And Dan, thank you so much for being here, and tell us a little bit about your testimony so far here in Alpha.
So far I've had a really fun time. I've been able to meet a lot of interesting women here in Colombia, and I've also met a lot of men from United States and Canada that I've become friends with. So overall, I've really enjoyed my time here.
That is great. And this is your first time here in Colombia?
That's correct. This is my first time here in Colombia.
What do you think about Barranquilla so far?
So far, it's a lot to take in. It's kind of overwhelming for me since I'm from a small town, but so far I'm having a lot of wonderful times.
So where are you coming?
I'm from North Carolina.
North Carolina, okay, that is nice. And how is the weather? It's very difficult right now because I know that it's a little bit humid. I don't know how is weather in North Carolina.
It's different from where I live, but it's not terrible at all. It's fine there.
It's being nice, and also I think that people make everything easier too, right? I see that, I don't know, I feel as a Colombian, and even if I'm from other city, I feel that people from Barranquilla are more like happy, more easygoing. So I feel that maybe you notice a kind of difference between American girls and maybe Colombian girls so far.
Overall, I think people are just a little bit more outgoing and a little bit more relaxed over here. Not so uptight.
And how was your first social night? Because we have this first night of social yesterday. How do you feel?
The first social night was, my first social period. This is the first time I've ever done one of these before. And I had a really good time, and I met a lot of wonderful women, and that was a wonderful evening. And I'm out on a date right now with
Maria Fernanda.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Daniel, for telling us a little bit about what is happening so far, and also about your experience so far with us. And right now I'm going to ask Maria Fernanda a little bit, okay? ¿Cómo estás, Maria Fernanda?
Excelente, me siento muy feliz.
Me alegra. Y este es tu primer evento.
Mi primer evento.
¿Y cómo te ha parecido hasta ahora?
Bueno, yo tenía bastante expectativa y jamás pensé que en un primer evento alguien se iba a interesar por mí. Dan.
No, y pero si eres una mujer hermosa además. Y bueno, también lo interesante de estos eventos no es solamente porque yo le digo a las chicas, sí, pueden encontrar a alguien, pero también hacer amigos, conectar con personas, salir, conocerse y saber que todo es sin ningún tipo de compromiso. O sea, vas a una cita relajado a conocer a alguien y ver qué puede pasar a partir de ahí, ¿cierto?
Eso es cierto, pero hay algo que me gusta mucho y es la energía que me puede transmitir una persona, y desde el día uno que lo sentí que él podía ser el caballero de mi vida.
¡Ay, qué bien! No sé si Dan está entendiendo esto, luego le vamos a traducir esta pequeña parte de la entrevista. Pero bueno, también cuéntanos cómo llegaste tú a la agencia, María Fernanda. O sea, cómo tú dijiste, bueno, me voy a inscribir a AFA, me di cuenta de AFA por este medio, porque muchos hombres se preguntan cómo llegan las mujeres, porque una mujer tan hermosa, tan joven, está en una agencia matrimonial.
Bueno, nadie me dijo que existía AFA, sino que una amiga un día me dijo, ¿por qué no te inscribes a una agencia matrimonial? Y yo empecé a investigar si había alguna agencia y me di cuenta que a través de redes sociales existía AFA. Y por eso yo dije un día, voy a tomar la decisión, me voy a inscribir y aquí estoy en AFA.
Ay, qué bueno. Y aparte, tu primer evento y ya tienes una primera cita donde has sentido una excelente conexión hasta ahora. Esperemos las cosas sigan yendo súper bien. Y bueno, María Fernanda, muchas gracias por contarnos un poquito de tu experiencia hasta ahora, porque eres realmente muy nueva. Y para que también miren las chicas que se inscriben con nosotros, que es posible encontrar a alguien fácilmente con nosotros.
Así es, no tengan miedo de escribirse en AFA porque es posible que encuentren a su verdadero amor.
Muchas gracias. Thank you so much, guys, for this.
Thank you.
Guys, that was Maria Fernanda and Dan, one of our first couples of this last weekend, basically. So you see, if you come here, and obviously you have to be a little bit lucky to find that right connection. Obviously, they have to make it work now. And the difficult thing is going back as well, having the communication and keep the communication going. But as I said, this couple was for me. You saw it. I don't know. Sometimes you can see it. I wish you, Dan, and Maria Fernanda all the best. Please stay in touch with us. We always love to hear and get to know more about you, how you're doing, and also support you. I told you guys I'm working on creating a course, an after dating coaching program, helping if you have any struggles after the tour, after the services, or also prior. It will be prior, during, and after, but depending what you want to choose, and really the communication is key. And so if you go home now, all of you guys who watch this, I don't know, some of you guys from the Barranquilla tour might be here watching this from the last tour. Some of you might be still traveling in an airplane because lots of you left today. We still have quite a few guys in Barranquilla. But in case you're watching this, my biggest advice is really be frequent. I told you that in the orientation meeting, what I did with Manuela on Friday, and just be frequent be consistent and frequent in the communication, because the Colombian woman is like living on her phone. You know, it's like she's always on her phone, and sometimes you guys it bothers you because you go in a restaurant and she's chatting and she's on her phone, and it's very disrespectful what you think, and sometimes it is, but she might be talking to her mom, to her sister, like they're always on the phone. It's very, very common, and if you're not writing to her, other men will do, other people will do, and women need a lot of attention. Yeah, I tell you that every show. I think every single show I tell you, women need a lot of attention, and Latin woman does need a lot of attention. And you guys used to independent women who don't need so much attention, who actually get a little bit bothered if you do too much. And here it's the other way around. If you don't do too much, she thinks you're not interested in her. And that is the most complaint I get from the woman. Like, said, what happened? You had a really great connection. Oh yeah, I think he was not interested in me. I said, what? Why? I know he was interested in you. Yeah, he didn't write that often, or he didn't write me for 3 days. Or also, if you go on a date, you have to write that same evening or latest on the same morning. But normally on the same evening, asking, hey, did you come home? Did you write home well? Is everything okay? It was a nice day. It was such a pleasure to meet you. Looking forward to talk to you tomorrow. Whatever, but give her something. Give her something, and not just nothing. You know, because if you don't communicate, the everything will die, or everything you build up will die. So you have to communicate, and you have to do it often. It doesn't mean you have to do long 2-hour calls. Most of you guys are not able to because you don't speak the language, or she doesn't speak the language. It doesn't have to be a 2-hour call at all. Just a quick, hey, how you doing? Good morning. I'm thinking of you. A quick lunch message. Hey, I just wanted to ask you, did you already eat? The did already eat lunch question is a very Colombian or very Latin. I don't know if it's all Latin America, but it's definitely very Colombian, because the Colombian mom and dad call her daughter or son, ask if they ate lunch, because lunch is the most important meal of the day. So if you want to be attentive and be that detail-oriented gentleman they're always looking for, because that's what they always tell me, I'm looking for the detail-oriented gentleman. And so what does that mean? Detail-oriented means frequent communication, be supportive, be there, help where you can help, be the man, be supportive, right? Doesn't mean always financial support, but if it's needed, sometimes also that. But there's a fine line between what is appropriate and what's not appropriate. And I think in this show we will not really get into that, but we can talk about that in some of the next shows. And so yeah, so frequency of communication is the key. Talk to her every day, several times. And if you say, I don't have time, I'm very busy, then get your priorities in order, because if your priority is your girlfriend, your wife, and your future with that person, then get your priority in order and talk to her. Because if your job is always the most important, if your whatever you are at is the most important, I know that you guys are busy, and you can communicate that. You can say, hey, I'm sorry, I can manage, I don't have my phone or cannot talk that much, but I will write you tonight, right? Or I will reach out to you every evening. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be 3 times a day if you really cannot, right? There are some of you have worked different shifts, or it depends on the job you're having, right? So not everybody might be able to, but some of you just are flojo, like they say here, like you're just lazy. And a woman needs attention. Your relationship needs attention. Your partner will need attention in the future. If you don't give it to her, she will not be there for you forever, and especially in a long distance relationship. So attention, 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 attention. Okay, tell her how beautiful she is. Tell her how beautiful her smile is. Tell her how grateful you are that she's in your life. Tell her how you enjoy to be able to communicate with her. Tell you that you're going to be back soon. Because if you're not coming back, every connection will die at some point, because you cannot maintain a relationship for years long distance. You can do it for months. It's definitely possible to do a long distance relationship for months. Lots of you have done it. Lots of the successful couples had to do it, especially if you're from the US. The US migration laws are really one of the most complicated in the world, and so it's not that easy. But if both are motivated, believe me, it will work out. But you have to do the frequency of communication, and you have to be the one communicating, not her. She will reach out too. She will also write, but you're the man. And the man is expected to do the first step. You're looking for a traditional woman? Okay, be the traditional man, make the first step, be the gentleman, open the door, open the thing, be attentive, be supportive, and be there. Okay, and if you're not, then she might go somewhere else, because she does get attention from other people too. So just keep that in mind. It's not that easy, but it's also not that complicated. Okay, and if not, if you, as I said, if you cannot do the frequency, then give her the frame. Hey, I can do this. I will reach out to you every evening at 7 p.m. or whatever. I will write you every night, or I will come back every month, or every 5 months, or whatever. But give her something where she can work with. Yeah, because if not, she's just sitting here waiting for you and doesn't know what's going on. And make your intentions clear. If your intention is, hey, this is serious, and I really want us to be serious, then tell her that, and don't expect that she just knows. Here, this is still a culture where you ask to be your girlfriend. Usually it's like, do you want to be my girlfriend, right? It's like, do you want to get married? Will you marry me? But the first step is to ask you, do you want to be my girlfriend? Anyhow, so that was a lot of advice. In the after communication, let's get a little bit into prior. What is important? Why is it important to prior have communication? Okay, so some of you are sitting now at home and haven't been on the tour and haven't had the chance to meet somebody. So what should you do prior? So first of all, if you don't want to do anything and you just want to travel, that is the most important, okay? The fact that you take the decision that you want to travel is the number one decision. Everything else is a plus, and I'm telling you in a moment why, but if you never come, you can communicate as much as you want, you can write as many letters as you want, you can make as many video calls as you want, but it's not going to be real, right? Because how can you establish a relationship with somebody you haven't met in person? And how can you be together if you never met? It's not possible, right? So first of all, your intention has to be, I have to travel. And if you're scared about traveling, then don't be scared. I mean, I've been here, I am here. I was a single woman, 24 years old, without speaking a word of Spanish when I came to Colombia first. And really, if I can do it, you can do it. You can just have on a plane, you have money, you have a passport, get yourself a travel insurance in case you get sick. That's something I really want to recommend you to think about. Travel insurance. You might get sick. It's not expensive here to get sick compared to the US, for example, but it's always good to have a travel insurance in case, okay? And so just travel. That is the first decision you have to make, okay? Travel. If you never want to travel, then why would you waste your money and your time and something like that? So Once you know you're going to travel, then you have two options. You can travel without any communication prior, and it works too. Most of the guys on the tour who have never been in touch with anybody. Some might have written a couple of letters, but most maybe just go and you meet on the social and then you go on a date and it works, right? But what is the problem? You have to establish everything in the week, right? And you have just 1 week, for example, 7 days. So if you only have 7 days and you go on different dates and you then that's the first moment you establish a connection. It might work, but it's also sometimes it doesn't go that deep. And because it doesn't go that deep, when you go home, that it cannot prosper because it's not deep enough, because you didn't match, you didn't connect enough. You didn't spend as much quality time together. So what do I recommend? This is why I do the Elite Club. This is why there's the executive service, but you can also pay for individual video calls if you don't want to spend that much money. But just keep in mind that basically 2 tours are already one Elite Club. And a tour, 2 tours are 2 weeks. An Elite Club is 3 months and includes 10 days of attendance and translation. In a tour, you have no translation included. In the Elite Club, you have the translation included in the video calls, in the letters, and in the traveling. And you have 10 days of 8 hours of translation included in the price. And it's the double of a tour, but it takes 3 months, while a tour is 1 week. Okay? So just put it in a perspective that really our executive or Elite Club is really not that expensive for what you really get. So why is it special and why should you do it? And if you don't do Elite Club, as I said, you can do individual video calls. A video call is $150 for 30 minutes. In the Elite Club, you have 20 hours of video calls included. But if you want to pay individually for a video call, that's totally fine too. A lot of you guys do that. Lots of you are right now are doing like 2-3 letters, doing a video call, do 2-3 letters, doing a video call, and then you travel, for example, right? You don't have to write for months. You don't have to do video calls for months, but it's effective if you do establish some communication before, because you do get deeper and you already establish a lot of trust in the beginning, and it's not that awkward. I get into the points now because I'm getting ahead of myself here. But really, that is why, give me just a moment that I'm opening that up. So that is why I'm really rooting for this Elite Club or for communication prior. Letters are a great way to go as well. You can write letters, and I would not do only letters. I would do letters and video calls, because only writing is, you get a different feeling if you see her in camera, and she gets a different feeling for you, and you might save yourself a lot of money, because if you write a letter or two, she said, yeah, let's go meet on the video call, and then you feel no connection, there's no need to spend more money on letters. I want to give you a quick introduction to the introduction letters. Some of you might be registered already and you get some of the introduction letters. You can click in your account the countries you want to receive them from. You don't have to receive them from all the countries. You can just click Colombia or just Peru or just all Latin America. And what are the introduction letters? The introduction letters are generalized letters. Like it's a general letter she writes when she comes into the office or when she registers with us. And it's a letter which us matchmakers, the staff sends out to you. It's not her sending it to you. She has not seen your profile. It's based on the parameters she gives you and you give us in your profile. For example, you say, I'm looking for a woman between 25 and 35 without children. So we might send you that suggestion. Hey, here's this woman. She's between 25 and 35 without children. Do you like her? And you open that introduction letter, and then you reply back to that introduction letter. And then we send her your profile, your letter, translated, and then she writes back to you. So some of you get confused what are the introduction letters, and sometimes you get like a not interested back. And that means obviously that she's not interested, but not because she sent the introduction letter, we send it out, and then we send her after you replied the profile. So just that you keep that in mind. You don't have to reply to introduction letters. You can reach out to any woman you see on the website. You can write her a letter for yourself. The introduction letters are just a way to help the woman, because you have a lot of women to choose from. And sometimes you guys, you don't go on page number 3, or you don't go on page number 5. And we know she's a great woman on page number 5, and you will never see her. So we help her to get in your radar, or whatever, in your consciousness, in your awareness, right? And so that is the idea. So if you want to reach out to anybody, that's totally fine. As I said, video calls are a great way to connect. We have great translators. And so, yeah, so that is something where you really can feel the connection. Malibu is saying some heavy stuff tonight for Maria. Yeah, I'm trying to be and give you all the information I can. If you have questions, as I said, that is why I'm here. Are the tours a vacation or a boot camp? I don't know, guys, the ones who have been on the tour. Does it feel like a vacation? Does it feel like a boot camp? I don't know. I don't know if it's a boot camp, but it is a little bit like you do have a lot of things to do. I mean, it's not relaxation. I would not say you just, I mean, it's up to you, right? You do, it's your thing. So you can do as many days as you want. You can participate in the activities. You don't have to. But usually you arrive on a Thursday, Friday we have an orientation meeting, Friday evening we have the social, Saturday morning we have the city tour, Saturday evening you have the social, Sunday we have an extra group activity you can do optional, Monday you do dates, Monday evening we have group activity which is optional, Tuesday you go on dates, Tuesday evening is Tuesday afternoon there's a group activity, Wednesday the 7-day tour is over, and the other days we keep on dating. And you go on the dates you want. You can do 1 date, you can do 2, you can do 3, you can 4. So it's totally up to you how much stress you want to do, how much party you want to do, how many activities you want to do. Most guys love the activities. Most guys want to participate, but it's not relaxation. Like, I would not say it's relaxing, because dating is not relaxing. You have to be always present. You have to pay attention. You're in a different country with a different culture, with a different language. You have to look nice. And after a couple of days, it's tiring, definitely. And it's hot. And so, no, it's not that relaxation, but that's why I'm saying, why not staying a little bit longer? Don't only go 7 days. Try to do at least 10 or 14 days and try to also relax if you want. And if you want a day where you don't want to date, totally fine. Like, there are guys who say, hey, I need a break today. Don't schedule anything for me. And we do what you want, right? We are not scheduling anything you don't want. And if we have to cancel, we cancel. Please just try not to cancel so that last minute, but we cancel. Blue, Maria, it's like a vacation. Okay, thank you, Blue. I don't know who you are, Blue, but thank you. You were on the tour, so you have your nicknames here. I think it all depends on oneself. I think so too. I think some of you guys really relax and chill out. Some of you really want to have a busy schedule. As I said, we try to keep you busy, but you tell us and we do what you want. Yeah. And so, as I said, we are always here to help you, to give you advice. So I hope you guys feel that. And if we stress you too much, then please let us know. We definitely want you also to relax and have a good time. Okay. Let me see, you guys, you're getting a lot of questions here. We're getting already at the end of the show, and I'm not even giving you all the tips. So let me get into the tips for 1 second, why it's important to stay in touch. We get into the video tutorial, and then I get into your questions, and then we still have the woman interview. So I'm probably going to have an hour overtime as usual. So I'm sorry, guys, if it's too long. I'm trying to give myself shorter next time again. But there's so much to talk about always in this international dating. So yeah. So why is it important to stay in touch prior to a meeting? Or if you do, why do we do the Elite Club how we do it? Because as I said, you do 20 hours of video calls. Why do we do so many? So we build up the connection, right? So building up a connection is one of the big main things. Like, it allows you to establish the connection, get to know each other personalities, interests, values, and making the first encounter a lot more comfortable. Obviously, because if you meet first time on a social, it's different. But if you go on a date and you have never talked to each other, it's sometimes can be weird, and you guys are nervous. So that is also, it helps to reduce the nervousness. It helps both parties to get familiar and reduce anxiety and more relaxation during the first meeting. Because obviously you go into a different culture, and it's kind of, wow, now I'm sitting here in this culture with this woman, not knowing what to say and not knowing which language to talk. You can obviously take a translator with you, right? So if you don't know, and you don't have to do everything on your own. Some of you guys really want to do it. That's amazing. But use the translator. It's $20 per hour, and she's a really great help. If not, you can do it with a phone, right? No problem. You can do Google Translate, but I tell you, it's a little bit quicker with a translator, and Google Translate cannot translate cultural words or cultural differences. So what else makes it important to prior connect and prior talk to each other? So be it in a letter, be it in a video call, right? Doesn't really matter. You can share your interests, like you're discovering common interests, and it makes it easier to break the ice and have more engaging conversations. You can show mutual respect. Communicating respectfully shows that you value each other's opinions, fostering mutual respect. So, for example, you have a video call, it's your third video call, and you talk about, I don't know, any a little bit more heavy theme. Let's say politics or sports or COVID or whatever you want to talk about. So you hear what the other person says without that you met, and you already can like get a feeling for that. And as you said, you can respect each other's opinions and see also how you agree or disagree or how you manage disagreements, right? Because in video calls, you can talk about, at least in the second or third video call, you can start talking about more deeper things, okay? It helps to avoid misunderstandings. So if you, for example, write a letter, so you had a video call and then you talk after the video call, you write a letter, say, hey, I love that. When we talked about that, I didn't really clear. Were you pro-abortion or were you pro-COVID? Whatever, right? I'm just saying something here. It's just heavy. But what did you mean with that? And doing a written communication also can clear up confusions or can clear up misunderstandings and avoid misunderstandings because you leave it in a written way. So I would combine always video calls and letters. And as I said, in the Elite Club, you have both. You have that included. You have up to 700, depending on the service, $500 and $700 of letters included after 20 video calls. The fluency of the conversation, communicating beforehand makes you more comfortable expressing yourself. You can be more yourself because when you go on a first date and you haven't talked at all, it's like, okay, I want her to impress her. I want to be that outgoing, crazy guy. And in the end, you're not like that. You're more like shy, but you think you have to impress her. So if you have done communication prior, she will get to know more of yourself, your personality. And sometimes the women here are very shy. So if you give her the chance as well to open up a little bit, to get familiar with you, to get familiar with the foreigner, it helps her very much as well. Safety and comfort. Building prior trust can help both parties feel safer when they meet somebody new, especially in a different country. Effective communication. Developing strong communication beforehand leads to the understanding in person. And also, if you're not able to communicate already in that before you meet, and also you will save time and effort, right? Because you go on a video call and you will feel if there's a connection or no. You don't need 3 video calls to know. You need exactly 1. And then the first video call, normally you guys in 15 minutes, I mean, the video calls are 30 minutes, and we encourage you to be nice and to give yourself the time, because sometimes really the woman needs some time to break the ice and really feel more comfortable with that. But in the video call, there's always a translator with you, and it does help you in the end to not spend your money and you spend your time to when you come into the country and you meet somebody. Like, so for example, you go on the first video call and you feel there's no connection, then you don't have to pay for the introduction and you don't waste your money and time here while you are your valuable time here, which is sometimes only a week. So if you do already video calls prior, if you do any communication prior, you can filter out. That's what we do in the Elite Club for a couple of weeks. We do the video calls and we filter out and we suggest new ones and we filter out and we repeat and we repeat and we repeat. And that is obviously the next thing. I would recommend you always to repeat a little bit, to have that connection, to have that relationship building. So I think that is like the most important points, like why is it important or why is it a recommendation to establish something prior? If you have any questions about that, please reach out to me. You know, we are here to help you. And now I'm getting into a couple of your questions, and then we get into the women videos, which are you guys waiting for? I know that. So let me just get my thing here up for a moment so that I'm not lost where we are at. So let's do the quick tutorial. We have a quick tutorial. Some of you guys might now ask, okay, how do I sign up for a video call? How do I do it? Let's show you. It's a 2-minute tutorial for the ones who don't know how to do it. And then I'll be back with your questions and the interviews of the woman you are waiting for so long.
To make a video call. On this video, you will learn how to make a video call to the woman of your dreams. Go to www.loveme.com. Go to the profile search bar and enter your girl's ID. Then look for the Call Me Now button in the right-hand column. You will then be taken to the virtual dating and translation services page. Scroll down and you will find two options. The first option to call and translate only. The second option to schedule, and click on Set up a virtual meeting account. On the next page, you will find a form that you will have to fill with your information. And below the form with your girl's information. Go down a little further and you will find a box where you can schedule a date and time for your virtual meeting. Once you schedule the date and time of the virtual meeting, click on Continue to secure payment. Before you finish, make sure your account is funded. If you do not have funds, you can click on the link Add additional funds to your account, and you will be redirected to a page where you can add funds to your account. Select if you want the funds for a call with translation or a virtual meeting, fill in your details, and click on the button Go to secure payment. The value for video calls is $150 per half hour. If it is a consecutive hour, the other half hour will cost $75 or $225 per hour. If you are a platinum member, the first half hour will cost you only $125. Video calls always have a translator present during the entire call. After paying and scheduling the meeting, an advisor from the area in charge will contact you. This is one of the ways you can use to make video calls to your girl. The other way is through VIP service and Elite Club. If you have any doubts or questions about this process, please contact us at our Phoenix office +16025538178 or contact us by email info@colombia@gmail.com.
Write to Kirk, call Phoenix, write us an email. We are here. Sometimes we need the moment to get back to you. We do get a lot of inquiries, but we always try to get back to you. If you don't hear from us, write again. Please don't give up, because we're really, really here to help you, and we really want to help each of you. And so if please, if you're interested, let us know. And if you don't know how it works, please let us know. I know it's sometimes complicated to find it, to how to do it, make the payment. So don't worry. So let me get quickly into your questions, and then I don't want to let you more wait, because I know you guys are waiting for the women. And I gave you already now heavy advice this week and today. I just want, as I said, I want to give you the most valuable information which helps you hopefully to be successful. And if you want to go deeper there, you know where to get in touch with us. So 4A Web is saying the main purpose is to find a future wife in Colombia. That's great. Or elsewhere, especially. We have also the other countries. You can go to Peru, to Costa Rica, Mexico. We have a couple of tours coming up. This is that you can travel all year long. And then hire fiance visa expert to help me with fiance visa application process. So if you sign up with us with the tour, you get a fiance free consultation, lawyer consultation. I cannot talk. A consultation with the fiance lawyer, with Laurie, our lawyer, who has been working with us for a long time. And also when you do the Elite Club and the executive service, obviously you do get a free consultation with a lawyer, and then she lets you know what is the best for you. Most of you guys do the fiance visa, and there's also the spousal visa. Some guys inquire about the tourist visa. The tourist visa we don't do, like the lawyer doesn't do, but you can just do it. It's called DS 160. You can just Google DS 160 and you can fill it out for her. It's $150. She has to go to the embassy and get the embassy interview, which takes right now a lot of time. So the fiance visa right now is quicker. After pandemic, it got a little bit complicated in the Latin countries, right? And so, but yeah, you get the fiance lawyer with us if you need her, or if you need, even if you just went on a date and you get engaged, you can consult with her, and she is amazing, and she has been doing that forever. And so with us, you get a guaranteed and the quickest, I think, it's possible visa. So let us know. You have that included in a lot of our services, okay? I think if you get a platinum member, yeah, I don't want to tell you anything that's not true. So check for yourself in the different services, but definitely with the tour and with the Execute and Lead Club, you have that included. Might be even with the Latin Club. Organic chocolate, hi again. Pi is saying, I highly encourage you all to pay attention to the advice from the AFA team. It can really help you to establish a strong and solid foundation in your relationship. Yeah, we can see some things you cannot see, guys. We have a little bit more experience as you in dating. Not that we are dating the woman, but we see you dating and we see the problems, we see the challenges, and we see what is realistic. And sometimes the unrealistic expectations where you guys get frustrated. So just listen, try to ask us. We're always here and give you the best advice possible. Obviously, we can be wrong, right? So it's obviously you make the decision, but we love to support you. And if you need help, obviously, you let me know, or us know, or Claudia, or ladies, or Manuela, or any of us, Alexandra, right? So music is saying, I'm just planning on going to the socials, no emails. That is totally fine, music. You can just go on the socials, you can just meet. As I said, there's nothing wrong with it. The only thing you have to keep in mind, you have to deepen the connection. If you're not doing prior communication and you just meet, you have a very short amount of time to deepen that. So if you like somebody, repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. And obviously sometimes it's complicated on a tour because you have so many choices. So you want to meet the different people, but you also want to repeat. So if you go on a tour, do the 10 days at least. If you can stay longer, better. But if you have the possibility to stay at least 10 days, do the 10 days, because 7 days are most of the times too short. And that's what I can see sometimes with the 7-day clients, like you cannot deep enough because the time is not there. So if you only have 7 days and you cannot travel more, then I would recommend you do a couple of video calls prior. As I said, if you don't want to do emails, if you don't want to write, no problem, but do a couple of video calls prior, 2, 3, 4 weeks prior, because all that time it will make a difference when you are here, okay? And if you don't want to, that's all good, but make the time to repeat, yeah? Malibu, great video tonight. I see 3, 4 ladies in the videos I like. How to cope with being stuck at a table where there's no connection with any of these women. Should I feign interest? So Malibu, that is a good question. What we do here is we do speed dating. So you're not long time at the table, right? You're like 10 minutes at the table, 12 minutes at the table max. So you're going to survive. Even if you don't have interest in any of the women, you can still talk, you can still share, you can still listen, you can still learn, and you can still be respectful to everybody. You don't have to fake any interest. For example, you're 35 and you're looking for a woman that's 27 and you want to have children, and all the women at the table or 25 to 30 and all the women at the table are over 35 and that doesn't interest you, that is fine. Then just make friends, get to know each other, talk, and that's it. And why do I say that? Because sometimes we have the men come from the Ukraine tours, which are more like a mingling thing where you go on a party and you talk to not everybody, you talk to the people you think you are interested in. And that is great, but at the end, you miss out on a lot of people. And I see it on the social, like every single time you get surprised of somebody you have never seen the profile or you didn't recognize her and you didn't think you have a connection. You saw the profile, but the profile didn't call your attention, but then she's sitting in front of you. And then all of a sudden it's like, wow, who is she? And then you see the profile, oh, wow, okay, I didn't know. And so can happen that you're surprised, can be happen that you don't have interest, but then just be nice, be respectful, talk to everybody a little bit, say thank you, and then when the table's over, you get up and you move. If you're not respectful, if you're not nice, if you're just like there, then the woman, you go up, you go from the next table, the women start talking to each other. Women talk, we communicate a lot, and we also listen to other women. So if they all say, oh, what was with this man and why didn't he talk and why was he such a bad mood and why was he like that and la la la. So you think, okay, next table, new chance, nothing happened, but you don't know how many of the women are connected. Sometimes they have WhatsApp groups. Sometimes they have the friend at the other table and now you're interested in that friend, but you didn't treat that table very well. So next time she tell you, there was this man who was at my table who was really nice. And then first say, yeah, but he was and then she said, you're right. Really, he did treat you like that? No, then I'm not interested in him anymore. So be respectful to everybody. Be nice to everybody. You never know. You never know who's connected. You never know who's in touch with who. And really just make friends. Get to know the culture. Learn something. Ask interesting questions. And you will not get bored. It's just 10 minutes. You will be fine. Okay? Okay, I'm getting more into questions, but let's go with the videos. Let's maybe do the two together. And then I finish the show with the last of your questions, and then Manuela will be back with you next week. So let us show the two interviews. Nicole, 21. Oh, she's so beautiful. Both of them are so beautiful. 21, 50, 15. And we have also Catherine, 21, 45, 80. So enjoy, guys. I see you in probably like 8 minutes or something like that.
Y en esta ocasión me encuentro con Caterina, una bella mujer que su ID es el 214581. ¿Cómo estás, Caterina?
Bien, gracias.
De negra, Caterina, esa es tu primera vez. Quiero saber, porque te veo con una cara nueva, la verdad.
Sí, es mi primera vez, estoy súper feliz.
Me alegra mucho. Y bueno, tiene unos ojos muy hermosos, que mejor dicho, combinan súper lindo con ese rostro y ese cabello tan espectacular. Yo, chicos, lo tienen que animar a conocerla, porque yo hago por video. No sé qué nos imaginar el espectáculo esta bella.
Ay, gracias.
Con gusto, Caterina. Bueno, cuéntanos un poco de ti. Cuéntanos, Caterina, cómo llegaste aquí a nosotros, qué estás buscando aquí en la...
Ok, bueno, me recomendó una amiga. Ella conoció a alguien muy maravilloso y estuve observando su relación y me gustó. Entonces le pedí que me contara cómo le fue y finalmente me decidí a enviar mi hoja de vida, mis fotos, a ver si encuentro una persona maravillosa. ¿Qué busco? Busco a alguien que se parezca mucho a mí.
¿Cómo eres tú?
Me gusta divertirme, me gusta ir a la playa, me gusta cuidarme, no rindo culto al cuerpo, pero me gusta mantenerme saludable. Me gusta comer sano, me gusta montar cicla y me voy a mi oficina siempre en bicicleta para aprovechar el tiempo y hacer ejercicio.
De aquí en Barranquilla.
Aquí
todos los días puedo ir.
Sí. Pero más que todo para aprovechar el tiempo, porque tengo también pues obligaciones en casa, entonces no siempre puedo ir al gimnasio, entonces puedo hacer bastante ejercicio con la bicicleta te ejercita full. También me gusta ir a la playa, muchísimo, siempre que puedo. Tomo mi auto los domingos y me voy a playa, mañana voy para la playa, si me quieren acompañar,
ya sabes. Que ahí se te encanta el mar.
me encanta. No sé nadar mucho, pero como toda costeña, me encanta. No sé bailar,
Ay, bueno, pero mira,
pero me divierto.
diferente normalmente a la que están acostumbrados esos caballeros que llegan y piensan que todas las mujeres no saben bailar excelente.
No,
Vas a aprender al lado de caballeros que vengan los dos. Bueno, sí.
yo puedo aprender a bailar pues de acuerdo a la cultura del caballero, entonces como no sé bailar, si me enseña eso,
Él te va a enseñar muy bien.
sí, me gusta leer, siempre un buen libro, siempre llevo un libro por aprovechar el tiempo también.
Actualmente aquí
Me estoy leyendo uno de Marian Rojas, bueno, pues voy a comenzarlo ahorita, que es cómo encontrar tu persona vitamina, y me estoy terminando de leer, ya me faltan unas 4 páginas de cómo hacer que te pasen cosas buenas. Realmente, yo estoy separada hace 3 años, entonces la separación siempre causa un poco de ansiedad y hay que saber manejar la ansiedad, eso es algo mental. Y ahí pues conocí que hay bastantes métodos, el ejercicio ya yo lo venía haciendo, comida saludable, me gusta mucho el pescado, entonces pues apunté muy bien a eso. Pero entonces las emociones también hay que manejarlas con un buen método de generar en tu cuerpo oxitocina y eso lo estoy aprendiendo con ella. Entonces ahorita estoy buscando a mi persona vitamina.
a ver si va a ser tu persona vitamina.
Sí, quiero que sea una persona muy especial. La persona vitamina puede ser un amigo o una amiga, sí, pero yo quiero que esa persona esté conmigo realmente. Yo quiero una persona muy especial.
El amor no está garantizado para toda la vida.
Eso ya lo sabemos, vivimos en una sociedad pero depende de nosotros también encontrar la persona correcta. Entonces, no quiero ir rápido a buscar la persona, ya esta me gustó. Quiero conocer una persona que se acople y yo acoplarme a esa persona.
Esa seguridad. Eso de conocerse y que quien te conozca a ti.
Claro, o sea, es importante conocerse porque ahorita las personas quieren satisfacción inmediata. Yo no quiero eso, yo quiero algo a muy largo plazo, que cuando yo esté viejita diga, ay Dios, que no se vaya a poner inválido porque pues me toca llevarlo en silla de ruedas.
Te hagan invitar igualmente como tú eres.
No, mentiras, y cuando estemos viejitos los dos nos cuidemos. Quiero algo para siempre. Realmente mi percepción hacia la vida es que la vida es corta. La vida es muy corta y la vida está llena de momentos y depende de nosotros cómo hacemos los momentos. Si mis momentos son felices, con quien nos comparta, entonces mi vida va a ser muy feliz, independientemente de las situaciones que vengan. En cualquier momento podemos mirar la moneda y decir, ya esto no me conviene, pero qué rico hacerlo al lado de alguien que también comparte esos sentimientos y disfrutar la vida, disfrutar los momentos, hacer que la vida está maravillosa. No dejar que los momentos pasen y luego me arrepiento de no haber disfrutado eso, sino poder disfrutar los momentos con inteligencia.
Yo veo que te dice que tienes muy claro que lo que quieres y es eso. Yo muchas veces hablo con los clientes, no es que necesites una persona, es que quieres una persona al lado tuyo que va a acompañarte y va a ayudar a crecer.
Claro, quiero a alguien que yo también pueda ayudar a crecer esa persona, que pueda ser su soporte. Además que por ahí dice el dicho, que detrás de un gran hombre hay una gran mujer. Entonces, bueno, eso quiero compartir con una persona que los dos nos ayudemos a crecer. Y que para esa persona sea importante también mis prioridades y así como para mí va a ser muy importante sus prioridades. Porque ambos venimos de mundos diferentes y venimos de vidas diferentes. Entonces necesitamos juntar los dos mundos. Y en cada mundo hay culturas, diferencias de horarios, de comidas. Seguramente puede tener hijos, no sé. Bueno, no me importa si no tiene hijos porque ya tengo 3.
¿Y cuántos años tienen tus hijos? Mi hija mayor, pero no tienes el cuerpo de una mujer con 3 hijos. O sea, que el cuerpo te desespecula.
Esa hace parte de la vida saludable.
Me encanta.
Mis hijas tienen 22 años, 16 años y 8 años. Entonces, con ellas comparto mucho. Además que tener hijas adolescentes y 3 mujeres te ponen joven porque por lo menos voy para cambiarme mi hija de 16 años. Esto no te lo pongas, esto sí te lo pongas, esto no te lo pongan.
Gracias.
Sí, es divino, es hermoso. Entonces la persona que quiero tiene que saber que mis hijas son muy importantes para mí. Sí, me encanta viajar. No he podido viajar fuera del país. He tenido la oportunidad, pero por situaciones de trabajo, después de casi 3 años, por fin estoy de vacaciones.
Caterina, que voy a conocer un poco más de ti a través de estas preguntitas. Vamos a hacer 3 preguntas. Te las leas y luego las respondas. Está ok. Empecemos con la primera. Vamos a ver. Me encanta porque sé que voy a escuchar respuestas
muy... ¿Se gusta bailar? Me encanta bailar. Estoy virgen, así que pueden enseñar.
Ya saben, pueden aprender juntos, chicos.
Sí. Otra. Vamos a la siguiente. ¿Eres más dominante o dominada? Bueno, yo creo que toda mujer en cierto momento le toca ser dominante para poder tomar el control de ciertos asuntos, ¿sí? Pero a toda mujer le gusta un hombre protector. Entonces, desde que me separé, me tocó tomar las riendas de mi casa, obviamente. Pero estoy cansada de eso. Yo quiero ya que alguien también llegue y me diga, ven, mi amor, vamos a hacer esto. Y yo sí, vamos a hacerlo. No quiero hacerlo, pero porque igual una mujer que tenga la oportunidad también de decir, no quiero, si quiero es importante, porque no soy una marioneta para nadie. Entonces, me gusta tener el control sobre la situación cuando estoy sola, porque no hay quien más lo tenga. Pero me gustaría tener un hombre muy protector. Muy protector.
Y bueno, y espero que lo puedas encontrar. Esa es la idea que nos está.
Vamos a ver. Esto es para ti. Vamos a ver, que me está escuchando.
Oh my God.
Suponiendo que ya estás en una relación.
Para que estar
voy a leerla muy bien. Suponiendo que ya estás en una relación, ¿cómo sorprenderías a tu pareja? Wow.
Pero es que si lo digo después no lo puedo sorprender. No, pero le voy a agregar algo adicional que sea sorpresa.
Bueno, ¿cómo nos sorprendería? Haciendo algo que normalmente no hago con los demás, ¿sí? Trataría de cocinar. Cocinar una cena especial.
Me encanta eso. Mira, me estoy estresando por ti.
Sí, por favor. Me esforzaría mucho. O sea, buscaré una receta súper especial. Una botella de vino súper riquísima. Haría un lugar. El resto no lo puedo contar porque es sorpresa.
Ya soy de después. Ya es para que la conozcan y si te animan, ahí sí se van a sorprender muchísimo conmigo, Caterina. Desde ahora.
Claro que sí.
Yo te digo mil gracias por estar aquí esta noche, por contarnos mucho sobre ti. Y bueno, yo realmente espero que puedas encontrar un excelente caballero Pues a través de la entrevista que llegué a ti.
Sí, claro, esta es la primera vez que estoy haciendo esto y estoy segura que en algún lugar del mundo siempre va a haber alguien perfecto para cada uno de nosotros. Entonces yo sé que ese perfecto hombre va a estar por ahí esperándome y en el tiempo preciso vamos a llegar juntos.
Gracias a ti.
Gracias.
Me encuentro una mujer espectacular, su nombre es Nicole. ¿Cómo estás, Nicole?
Muy bien, gracias.
Me alegra, muchas gracias por acompañarnos. Y para esos caballeros que están interesados en saber cuál es el ID de Nicole, es el 215015. Nicole, mil gracias por estar aquí. Este es tu primer evento, ¿cierto?
Gracias.
Y bueno, ¿cómo llegaste a nosotros? ¿Cómo te diste cuenta que nosotros existíamos?
Me recomendaron una página muy excelente, una compañera.
Qué bueno, y esperemos que esta noche sea también súper excelente y puedas encontrar una persona que tú digas, me gusta y me visualizo con él.
Por supuesto.
Nicole, y cuéntanos un poquito de ti, ¿cuántos años tienes? ¿A qué te dedicas?
Tengo 21 años, estoy estudiando administración de empresas.
Estás estudiando actualmente, ¿en qué semestre estás?
Estoy en el primer semestre.
Bueno, apenas estás comenzando, me encanta eso. Y bueno, te pregunto, Nicole, porque muchas veces yo sé que en la administración también te tocan materias como otros idiomas. ¿Estás en este momento estudiando también inglés, de casualidad?
Sí, estoy estudiando inglés y empezando también.
¿Y qué tal te gustan?
Sí, también me gusta, estoy aprendiendo.
Qué bueno, y la idea es mejorarlo también, ¿cierto?
Por supuesto.
Nicole, bueno, cuéntanos también un poco acerca de qué te gusta hacer en tu tiempo libre. ¿Qué es lo que más te gusta hacer cuando no estás trabajando o estudiando en este caso?
Bueno, la verdad, me encanta modelar.
No, y es que tienes el porte también para eso.
Pues sí, me encanta modelar muchísimo. Me encanta salir a comer, conocer lugares. Eso como mis hobbies favoritos.
Y bueno, y a petición del público vamos a darte una vueltica porque hay que mostrar a esta mujer tan hermosa y ese caballo tan espectacular que tienes. Nicole, y bueno, ya nos contaste que te gusta mucho modelar. Y bueno, te pregunto, pues yo digo que una modelo es muy cosmopolita y es una mujer que normalmente les gusta viajar, conocer nuevas culturas. En tu caso, tú también estarías dispuesta, no sé, si llegases a encontrar a tu pareja o un hombre que realmente te moviera el piso, ¿estarías dispuesta a mudarte a otro país?
Por supuesto, claro que sí. Es mi sueño de...
Ay, qué bien. ¿Y qué país, por ejemplo, te llamaría la atención para vivir?
La verdad, me gusta mucho Suecia.
Ay, súper chévere. O sea, me gusta mucho por el nivel cultural.
También voy a aprender ese idioma con el favor de Dios.
Qué bueno, me alegra muchísimo. Esperemos que lo puedas practicar. Y en realidad ya hemos llegado a tener clientes de Suecia. Entonces, no nunca sabe. Es más, tenemos una clienta que está casado con una. Sí, entonces, bueno, esperemos que ese sea tu caso también. Bueno, vamos a averiguar un poquito más de ti, Nicole, a través de estas preguntitas. La idea es que saques 3 papelitos, los leas y contestes las preguntas. ¿Te parece?
Bueno, dice, ¿qué es lo que más admiras en un caballero? La verdad, la misma palabra lo dice, que sea caballeroso, muy atento, pero bien atento, que sea muy afectivo. Eso me encanta de ellos. Sí.
Y bueno, has tenido la posibilidad, Nicole, yo te pregunto, de salir con caballeros que no sean exactamente barranquilleros, que no sean de acá de Colombia. ¿Ya has tenido la oportunidad de salir con alguien del extranjero?
Una sola vez, pero de hecho del resto.
¿Y te llama la atención salir con alguien de una cultura diferente a la colombiana?
Sí, totalmente. Quiero conocer a otro.
Qué bueno. Miremos a ver qué más hay por ahí. A ver.
Sí. Dice, ¿te gustaría tener hijos? ¿Y cuál? Sí, me gustaría tener hijos. De hecho, tengo uno. Y me gustaría tener uno más.
¿Y cuántos años tiene tu hijo?
Mi bebé tiene 2 años.
Bueno, está chiquito y qué bueno que también estés abierta a la posibilidad de tener ahí. Y aparte tammen digo, ¿por dónde lo tuviste, señorita?
Sí.
Porque está igual cortado.
Queda igualita.
Quedas igualita.
Y es la otra. ¿Qué 3 deseos le pedirías a una lámpara mágica?
Yo creo que está como difícil.
Sí. Bueno.
Sí, porque solo 3.
Ok. El primer deseo le pediría una familia. Quiero tener una familia. Una familia. Segundo deseo, un hogar estable con un esposo estable o económicamente esté estable para mantener a mi familia y a mí e incluir.
Mi tercer deseo, ser profesional en lo que estoy estudiando y en muchas otras cosas.
Qué bueno, me encantan esos deseos y también porque te visualizas a futuro siendo una mujer exitosa.
Me visualizo bastante, me gusta eso.
Y bueno, Nicole, yo de verdad que espero que puedas encontrar un gran caballero y si no, por eso estamos haciendo esta entrevista, porque si no es esta noche, en la segunda noche de evento que tenemos en Barranquilla, pues puede ser a través de esta entrevista que un caballero diga, quiero conocer a Nicole y se anime a viajar acá a Barranquilla a conocer. ¿Sí? Esperemos que así resulte, ¿cierto? Sí. Muchas gracias.
De nada.
So guys, I'm back here and I hope you enjoyed the two videos of the two women, Nicole and Katerine. And so as I said, you can reach out, you can meet, you can do video calls, whatever you want to do your thing. Everybody's different, everybody has a different way of communication, a way of dating. Some people love the socials, some people hate the socials, some people want more individuals, some want to do the group, some love the letters, some do the video calls, some meet. So do whatever fits you, right? It's your dating process. We just give you tips, we give you recommendations. Building up a connection is a great way to go because, as I said, if you have limited time in the country, it makes sense, but it's not necessary, okay? It's not necessary. You have seen Dan and Maria Fernanda tonight, the beautiful couple they just met on the social. They haven't been in touch before and they were able to communicate and they were able to be establishing that relationship. But what did it mean? They went out every single day. He was very focused. So it's not that he would 15 different women. No, he went out with her. I'm not sure if he even went out with other people. I think maybe on Thursday he did have another date or two, but really focused really on her. And obviously he was able to establish a connection throughout the week because he really focused on that woman. We have another Dan in that tour. He also had a great connection. And he did date other women too, but he also repeated nearly every day with the same one. So it is important to deepen the connection. How you do it is up to you, right? So just giving you that. So now we're getting into the last questions of tonight because it's already 9 o'clock. As usual, I'm doing too long, and I hope you don't get bored here. So let me see the first question of Stephen tonight. Stephen, you were the first one writing, and I'm sorry that I just reply your question tonight. Stephen is saying, hello, Maria, was wondering about the tours. What if the women I want to meet are from different cities, ones that are not on tours? Is that an individual tour event or will they come to the cities where the tours are held? So, for example, if you have an event in Cartagena, some of the women from Barranquilla go to Cartagena because they have family there. Or if we have an event in Barranquilla, sometimes the women from Santa Marta come to Barranquilla because they have family there and it's close. It's 2 hours by bus. But if a woman from Bogota goes to the event to Medellin or goes to the one to Cartagena, it's not very likely. What you can do is obviously invite her. You can write her a letter. You can invite her. You can offer to pay for her transportation. Sometimes she might agree. Sometimes she might not because she doesn't know you yet. Maybe if you had a couple of video calls, it's different. But if you just want to invite her and say, hey, come to Medellin, she might say no because obviously who are you? And she has to get a little bit more, right? So depending where she is at. But for example, Barranquilla, Cartagena, Santa Marta, Barranquilla is usually possible, but it's obviously up to the woman. We don't charge you the membership fee. So in case you are on the Barranquilla tour and you want to meet somebody in Santa Marta, we don't charge you the membership fee of $150 and you just pay per introduction. Or if she comes to the city where you are in, where you do the tour, if she travels, you just pay for her travel expenses because the woman can usually not afford it. It's not that she pays. She would love to, but she cannot. So it's you. And I don't know if she would love to because the culture is the man provides, the man helps, the man supports. And if you want to meet her, you pay for her expenses, okay? So the same is on dates. you guys sometimes get upset, and then sometimes I don't understand why. That the woman, like, it's very common here to give them money for the transportation. Why? Because A, they don't live in very safe neighborhoods. You are staying in the most safe neighborhoods, the hotels, the tours, but she lives far away. So if she has to take a taxi at 8 o'clock in the night, at 11 o'clock she has to go home, it would be very nice if you pay the taxi for her, because A, there are no buses, and the buses are at that time dangerous. And if she's dressed like on a date where she's very beautiful, usually people try to keep low profile, then it's not very safe for her. So it's a very gentleman behavior to help her for the transportation, and most of you guys don't mind. But sometimes you don't understand the culture, and then you get upset and you think she takes advantage of you. And no, it's very normal, and you should keeping that in your budget in mind. Okay, I budget also for the taxis. Don't go crazy. The taxis here are cheap. It's not like in the US, in Europe, or wherever, where a taxi is really, really expensive. Here, a taxi is $2, $5, $10, depending how far she lives away, right? So to calculate between $5 and $10 one way, right? So it's really not that much. I mean, it adds up, obviously, if you do 20 dates, but that is not her problem, right? This is, you are the provider, you're the man, you do that, okay? Don't expect that she pays something of the bill. She will never pay anything of the bill in a restaurant, okay? So you pay the bill, and you pay the bill usually also for her and the translator. Obviously, the translator should not eat like 3 people. Obviously, the most of the clients invite the translator, invite the date, and yourself. And so just keep that in mind when you budget, okay? So, Stephen, I hope that answered your question. If they're close by, it's possible that they can come. If they're family, it's possible that they can come. But if you want to offer to invite them, if you offer to pay for her expenses, it's also possible that she comes, okay, to the different city. Vernon, you already, I wrote you, hope to see you in Barranquilla 2024. Let's see. Let's see, I already answered those. Blue is saying, in my experience, a 14-day tour is the best. And if you find someone special, you have a bit more time to really get to know them. I agree with you. Blue, I would love, who are you? I cannot identify you. Write me a message. Ron, hi, Ron Williams. How are you, Ron? The tour, how's the Barranquilla tour going, and how many men travel to Barranquilla on this tour? Ron, the Barranquilla tour is really going great. I think we have a beautiful tour. The men were great. The women were great. The events, I think, were great. If you have any other things to say, guys, who have been on the tour, please let us know. We're happy if we get your feedback, but I had a good impression. I loved both events. And we had a smaller group this time. We were not sold out. We had like 12 clients on that tour. But I also love it when it's a little bit smaller, because then we can help you a little bit more, be there more for you. And so that. And I loved the tour. I think it was a really good tour. And Don is saying, what's the average age difference you see between the men and the women? Average age difference. I don't know if there's an average age difference. You guys mostly looking for a little bit younger. As I said, don't go too young. Don't overdo it. Like 10 to 15 years is a good thing to keep in mind. Up to 20 is possible, but 10 to 15 is a good age. Okay. And we see that, where the most success happens. So Latin women are the best, how we saying. We are in the final steps to getting my Venezuelan fiance a visa. Congratulations. We met you in COVID. Oh, wow, that was difficult, I imagine. It slowed the process by 18 months because all the embassies were shut down. Yes, it was a very difficult time. It's still not that easy, but it's a lot easier than it was like 1 or 2 years ago. So I'm very happy that you're getting there. Most of the times, the fiance visa is now 10 to 12 months. It doesn't take 18 months anymore. But it does take a time still, so keep that in mind when you plan. And Javi, I'm very happy for you. Congratulations that you're going to do that process. And if you guys want to meet somebody from Venezuela, that's, as Americans, it's very difficult because you cannot really travel to Venezuela. But you can meet in Colombia if you want, or in other countries as well. She needs a passport. And we also have a lot of Venezuelans living in Colombia. So I would recommend you also, if you like a woman from Venezuela, maybe take somebody already who is in Colombia, already left the country. It's more easy to travel. She has a passport, because just getting her a passport is around $500. $250, I think. $280. It's not that cheap. So I don't want to give you, I just did one with her and her mom, and it was $600 with the expenses she has to travel to get it. So put it like $300, $250 to $300 each passport if she doesn't have one. So maybe somebody who is already in Colombia makes more sense, or in a different country, in Peru or somebody. Like Venezuelans are all over right now. They are not only in Venezuela, they're in Mexico, they're in Panama, they're in the US, they're in Argentina, they're in Brazil, they're everywhere. And so you can look into that as well. Joey is saying, as an introvert myself, it's possible to meet them one-on-one. I got social anxiety, try to give the divided attention. Definitely, Joe. We have one-on-one introductions. We have one-on-one services. We have the Latin Club, which is the individual group, individual package, or you go on individual introductions. So you don't, as I said, you do you. Everybody's different. There are people who love the socials. There are people who hate the socials, who said, I cannot be with so many people. I cannot be with so many women. I want that more one-on-one. Definitely, we can do everything, right? We have different services for everybody. So if you want to do more one-on-one, I think it's great. We do see a lot of good results coming out of one-on-one because we have more time for you as well. Yeah. Rich, do you verify the woman's age, education, or relationship statement if they have children? Yes, we do. The women do register all with their passport. Education level, we don't verify. She tells us what is her education level, but most of the times the women don't really lie about that. Most of the times, obviously, she can say she is a lawyer and then she isn't, but most of the times they are honest. If she was married, she has usually show us her divorce certification, and if she has children. It does happen that sometimes the woman, they tell us one thing and it's a lie, right? So we're not detectives. We don't have a police. We don't have a detective behind her verifying how many children she has. Most of the women do not lie about the children, but we have it happen. Sometimes can be a mistake. Sometimes she says she has one and then she has two, but it happens very rarely. Or if she has two, one is already over 18 years old. So she says she has one, whatever, 15, and then she has another one, 18, 19. But it's like you guys, you sometimes don't put it either. You men also, if you have children over 18 or in the US over 21, most of you guys don't even put it in your background form because it's not that relevant anymore. But obviously, if you see that there's a problem, that she says she has one and then she says she has two, obviously, please let us know as soon as possible. But yeah, we verify usually her age, her passport or her ID, her name, if she's over 18, obviously if her age is real, and obviously that the information is as accurate as possible. But I want to be honest, if she wants to lie to us, she can lie. And sometimes we find out later. Like most of I would say 97% never happens. It might be 2% that it has happened. It's very, very rare. Where I do see differences sometimes in the weight. Like you look at the photos, right? Or at the measurements. Like if it says 90, 60, 90, and you look at the photos, and you can more or less tell if it's 90, 60, 90. We always try to be as much as accurate as well. But as I said, please let us know if there's something you see or you hear or she asks or whatever. And we are always making the adjustments. Okay. Is there still space for the Medellin tour? Yes, there's still space on the Medellin tour. So I'm really looking forward to meet some of you, hopefully, on that next tour on the 21st of September. So we have only 2 tours left in Colombia. And I think I have to finish the show because if not, we're going more and more over time. But if you want to come, so we have 21st of September, Medellin, and then we have, let me look it up, I think 2nd of November, Cartagena. So if you guys are looking forward to one of the tours, that is definitely one of the opportunities you have at the end of this year. Jay is saying, nice meeting you, Maria. It was nice meeting you, Jay. Great that you're here. Jay is doing a Latin club right now in Barranquilla. So a lot of you guys are actually, Clifford is saying, sorry, I wanted to answer that question. And then I'm finishing. I talk too much, so sorry. Clifford is asking, I'm a DJ and would probably like to bring my music entertainment there. So what would be the best place for me to do it in which city? I would say Medellin. Go to Medellin. There's a huge party scene, good DJs. There's a lot of opportunities in the restaurants. Barranquilla is a good place to go to. I think in Barranquilla as well. But in Medellin, if you do electronic music, for example, it's a good place, Medellin. So guys, Yellow Fevers, also Moondog. Sorry, last question. Moondog is asking, yellow fever shot before coming to Colombia. They did that to me when I was in Germany. They told me I need to have a yellow fever shot, and they never asked anywhere. In Colombia, you would not ask, I don't know where there's yellow fever, maybe in the rainforest, but if you go to one of the cities, you definitely don't need a yellow fever shot. Okay, so don't do it. It's not necessary. Okay, I got one, but nobody ever asked in 10 years, so you don't have to. Okay? Okay, guys, I am happy. I hope it was a good show. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry for making it that long. I hope it was still interesting for you. I see you in 2 weeks. Manuela will be with you next week, and it was a pleasure as usual. Please reach out if you have any questions. Welcome, hopefully soon in Colombia. We're waiting for you here. Bye-bye and have a good evening.
Hola, mi nombre es Sonia, tengo 37 años, soy de la ciudad de Medellín.
What do you do for living?
Trabajo en el área contable.
What are your hobbies?
Me gusta mucho hacer deporte, salir a caminar, me gusta el cine y compartir en familia.
What kind of movies do you like?
Me gustan las películas de acción y las películas también, la comedia.
Are you family oriented?
Sí, mucho. Comparto mucho en familia, es lo que más hago.
Would you be willing to have children?
Tengo un hijo, tiene 14 años. Sería una posibilidad más adelante si tengo una buena pareja con la que me entienda y también desee tener hijos, sería una posibilidad. Uno más.
Do you like to cook? What is your favorite food?
Sí lo hago muy a menudo, no por el tiempo, pero cuando tengo tiempo sí lo hago. Me gusta la comida italiana.
How would your ideal first date be?
Me gusta conocerte diferentes tipos de comida, entonces me gusta mucho conocer restaurantes, visitar lugares nuevos para mí.
Would you be willing to live abroad with a gentleman?
Sí, estaría dispuesta.
What are you looking for in the agency?
Bueno, en la agencia, pues obviamente busco un compañero para mi vida, para formar un hogar, una familia y un hombre pues que me quiera y que obviamente yo también quiera.
What attracts you in a man?
Bueno, un hombre que sea respetuoso, cariñoso, que sea honesto y pues principalmente que sea un hombre que tenga principios y que me quiera. El amor que exista es.
How do you show love?
Bueno, todo se va dando a medida que se comparte con esa persona. Todo va naciendo de forma espontánea. Entonces, pues como te digo, yo soy una persona muy familiar, que me gusta mucho compartir en familia. Si tengo mi pareja, pues estar tiempo con esa persona, dedicarle como todos esos espacios que se merece.
Where would you have a vacation with your partner?
Bueno, quiero conocer Dubái. Quiero conocer Dubái. Pues tengo una experiencia con una amiga que viajó y pues que he visto también, pues el lugar es hermoso y la cultura me gustaría conocerla.
What are those non-negotiables?
No negociables, la falta de respeto. La falta de respeto no se negocia, pues ya. Y la desconfianza, cuando ya se termina la confianza, ya. No se puede negociar.
How to conquer your heart?
Un hombre tierno, comprensivo, amoroso, detallista, respetuoso, honesto. De esa manera esa persona va ganándose mi corazón poco a poco. Bueno, los invito a que se contacten conmigo si están interesados. Los espero acá en la ciudad de Medellín para que vengan, conozcan la ciudad. De igual manera conocen me conocen a mí, por supuesto. Acá los esperamos. Bye.